you so much for tuning in to Off the Reel sessions here live at the warehouse in Columbia, South Carolina, where we do a 15-minute interview with the band that just performed on the On the Reel sessions that we do every single Monday, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But before we jump into that, I want to make sure I give a shout out to our sponsors, Coburn's Exclusive out of Nashville, Tennessee, and also Celestial Viking, who hosts the open mic at Uncle Fester's every single Sunday, 3 to 6 p.m. So make sure if you're local, you go out and support local artists as well. You can also become a Patreon supporter for as little as $5 a month. Go to patreon.com/onthemarkstudio. But I'm going to turn my attention to Wombat Junction, who just performed. If you did not catch that video, make sure you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/onthemarkstudio, and check out their 1-hour live stream that they just did. But thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
We are happy to be here.
Man, absolutely fantastic. I love the sounds that you guys are creating. Your harmonies are absolutely tight. Man, what a pleasure having you. So let's kind of jump into that. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves individually, and whoever wants to take the lead can.
Ladies first, apparently. So I'm Sam Scollin, born right here in Columbia, South Carolina, and I'm guitar and vocals.
How long you been playing?
Well, I've been involved in music my whole life, but officially like playing guitar since I was 16, and involved in bands and not just like tinkering in my living room.
Is this the only band that you're a part of?
Currently.
Yeah. Awesome.
Although I do a little duo thing with a friend of mine as well.
Sweet. Do you play local as well with that duo?
Not yet.
Not yet?
We're still working on it.
Kind of working on
Yeah.
it. Who's next?
I'll go next. My name's Rob Dew. Originally from Florence, South Carolina, but I live here now. Same questions? Or,
Yeah, I would love it. Yeah,
sure.
Tell us a little bit about your history.
I started in music like a lot of people in the South in church, and then actually went to school for music, and then didn't do so hot, and took some time off. But have been playing in bands since I was, gosh, I don't know, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Something like that, playing guitar, bass, piano, and then hooked up with these guys, about 2-3 years ago.
So that's how long the band's been together? About 3 years?
Actually, oddly enough, Nick had joined us about 2 years ago, but like today on the Facebook memories, it popped up that today, 3 years ago, was our first gig at New Brooklyn Tavern.
Hey,
So
cool. Shout out to New Brooklyn.
Yeah, so that was like time's fun when you're having flies, you know. Like it's hard to believe it's been 3 years, but yeah, it's been 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all lost a year last year, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't think that year counted.
No, I don't think so, too. I think they should give it back.
Right.
Josh, what about you, brother?
Josh McGill. My first instrument was saxophone in middle school band, as I was not good at it. Started playing guitar, I don't know, a long time ago, and played in bands since high school, most of them with this guy. The first one was Captain Geach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters.
Hey, I love that movie.
Every time.
Every time.
Every interview.
It's great.
That's about all there
Where are
is
you
about
originally from?
Columbia.
Columbia. Well, you lived here your whole life?
Whole life.
Hey.
Whole life.
I just moved here like 2 years ago, so I'm still kind of getting used to the Columbia scene.
Wow.
So, yeah. What's up, Nick?
What's happening?
You got to talk in the mic.
What's happening?
Tell us a little bit about you, man.
Pretty much exactly what he said. Him being my brother and all. That's kind of how we got into the music. Music scene was playing with each other and trying to create music wherever we could. But yeah.
So you've been playing drums since middle school?
Yeah.
Right.
Been playing for a very long time.
Did you always play kit, or did you just do like orchestral and marching?
No, it's always been a kid.
Always.
That was randomly. Randomly, my pops bought me a drum kit, and there it was.
You
I
remember what
guess.
brand? I'm sorry, I'm a drummer, so I like talking about drums.
Yeah, it was actually. I'm so mad at myself. It was like a '60s Ludwig double bass, and we just let it go.
No.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that was the first kit I had was a Ludwig.
My dad handed me down. My very first kit was like a 1960s Slingerland, so I have it at my house. So like I haven't played it in years, like a jerk, because I got a new drum set. But so you guys have been together for 3 years. I know you mentioned on stage you guys have an album. Is that your only album, or do you have multiple?
Yeah, no. Right now, that's the only thing out there. It's called The Long Game.
Long
We
Game.
recorded it at the Jam Room
Hey.
here in town with Zach Thomas, who's a badass producer, and we had so much fun doing that. Right now, we're saving to record our next album, which we've got the material for. We're just ready to. We're trying to narrow down, exactly where and how we want to do it, and we'll probably get to work on that in the fall, to work on it in the studio, not just rehearsing.
Yeah.
And
So if you like what we do, buy our first album,
Right.
and then you'll get a second.
Is it on
album.
iTunes?
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp?
Yeah, it's on Bandcamp, and then
Give that a shout out as far as bandcamp.com.
yes, bandcamp.com/Wombat Junction.
Wombat Junction.
And it is on there. And if you can go on there, and like I said, also while we were playing, if you want a hard copy, I know not as many people have like CDs anymore, but a lot of people prefer having the actual thing. Just shoot us a message, shoot me a message on Facebook, and Jeannie Breeden, I literally drove it to her house and put it in her mailbox. So I will do that for you. Personal delivery service. So, yeah, and we're out of shirts, but we're gonna have some more printed up. So,
I also want to kind of jump into kind of your studio work, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
When I go in the studio, I have my rituals. Is there anything like that you guys have when you go in, and how do you track? Do you guys track all together, or do you track separately? Or
on that record, we did it almost essentially live. We went back and redid some vocals, and we did the vocals separately, and I did some organ and some piano on some stuff, and there was a lot of junk food around. But yeah, no, it was. We kind of wanted to do it, and sorry if I'm hogging all the time. We kind of wanted to do it live, so we could say here's what we sound like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So just because I didn't want to put, overlay horns and all kind of crazy stuff, because then we couldn't reproduce that.
Understood.
Live, you know what I mean? So it's kind of raw, but that's kind of how I like it.
And also, we didn't use a click track because we all have anxiety.
So click track stressed me out.
So did you just do it until you got the take perfect? Is that kind of how that went?
Kind of did them as many takes as we needed, and Zach, bless his heart, is a patient man.
Yeah.
And so he let us get through there. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Studio time. Are you gonna do the next album the same way, like live and one take?
I don't know, because I'll be honest with you, and this is we're being casual and candid here.
Yeah.
There, I don't know that I want to go into all that, but
You don't.
we don't. So anyway, but we might take it like a more measured approach just to see if we like it better, because like we said, that was our first record.
Yeah.
So if we haven't really played around with a lot of different ideas, so we might try a more measured approach, and do each track separately, and then see how we like that, and we'll see how it goes.
Did you do any writing in the studio, or did you already have all your parts kind of pre-planned and you just went in and hit it?
we kind of just picked the songs that we liked the best that we already played.
Mm-hmm.
Josh is a phenomenal songwriter, so like
He's not-
90% of what we sing is his.
Yeah.
But yeah, we practiced a lot of before we ever even went out into the world. So we had a lot of stuff really locked down already, and just decided, these songs sound good together. These songs sound the best with our voices, and kind of went from there.
Well, I mean, let's dive into the songwriting, Josh. So, tell me a little bit about your songwriting. How do you approach that, and like, when at what point do you go, okay, I'm ready to present it to the band?
I don't really approach it. I agree with what Tom Petty said about it, as I agree with most things Tom Petty ever said, was that you don't want to get too close to it. Like, you don't want to try to figure it out because it might stop coming.
Yeah.
So it happens kind of as it happens when I'm sitting around playing or driving or whatever. And luckily with phones now, I can record things while I'm driving. And then I present it to the band if I don't hate myself after I wrote it.
Do you guys do any writing of the parts together after that? Like, so once, I mean, I imagine you start tailoring it towards the band.
Yeah, it's kind of we've kind of gotten it down to, it's kind of like Josh will bring it in with the chord changes and the melody, and then Sam usually is the one who puts together the harmonies, and she can give you a mean stink eye if you're in the wrong place, and then Nick and I sort of work out the rhythm and maybe like do more of the arranging, saying, okay, hey, at this part, hey, let's do this, or let's make this part loud, make this part quiet, things like that. And so it's really it's a collaborative effort.
Which is nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And just to be fair, all three of these guys are awesome songwriters in their own right and bring tunes that we played some of them tonight. Everybody can write, and they all impress them.
We all
Oh.
contribute. It's just you're the best at it. Deal with it.
So how did you all meet? I mean, obviously you're brothers. So how did that even happen?
I met Nick when I was about 12, 13. I've known Rob since I was 3.
Really?
No.
You go way back.
Sam and I met at the old Utopia open mic.
Okay.
And yeah, that's basically how I met everybody. But we started playing in a folk, like Americana trio called the Juniors for a while.
Our very good friend Justine Shelton, who may or may not be watching now, but I love her anyway.
Yes. But Justine had to move to Charlotte, so we were like, well, we still want to play in a band. But at that point, we had just been doing acoustic stuff, so we were like, let's do something, like loud and rocking or whatever. So first we hooked up with Josh and another drummer, a guy named Brandon Roshto. Hey, Brandon. And
he loved wombats.
yeah, he actually is
Yeah,
the
he's
one
the
who
one
came
who-
up with the name.
Oh, really?
Yeah. His girlfriend, this is so like off track, but like his girlfriend had gone to Australia, or like his ex-girlfriend. I don't think they're still together, and had sent him a road sign, the logo that it's like the yellow sign with a wombat in it, and that was hanging over the door at the place where we practiced. So we just sort of from there we came up with Wombat Junction, and
I mean, it definitely sticks.
I haven't heard of another band named Wombat Junction.
Yeah.
I was personally more fond of the Flying Chaucers, but I got outvoted.
Oh. I mean that has a good ring to it too. But Wombat Junction sticks. Like you guys definitely landed, didn't you? So
Like to think so.
it kind of works out. It kind of works out. So tell me a little bit about some shows you guys got coming up and kind of where you're going with that.
It's,
The fundraiser for
oh yeah, it's it's July 18th, and it's a benefit show here actually. It's gonna be five bands playing live, and then 4 bands playing in between, just to make sure there's no dead time
Yeah.
during the show. So and it's everything. All the funds are going to go to Pets Inc. So we're trying to
Help the pets.
trying to help the animals.
Save
Help the animals.
kitties.
That's right. If I can get in touch with them, respond to me, Pets Inc.
You heard it just now.
Now,
Respond.
That's right.
Nick's being modest. I know we're up against it time-wise, but Nick is the head of an organization called Cola Music Cares.
Okay.
And he has organized, this will be the third. We did one for Black Lives Matter. He did one for Black Lives Matter.
I was here. I thought I recognized you.
Yes.
I played for Stevie Harris.
Okay.
I
Really?
played.
That's right. That's right.
I played
Stevie is
drum-
the man.
I played drums for Stevie Harris that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
And what was this?
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's
And then we did-
Association was the second one
In February.
in February. So this will be the
So-
third. So Cola Music Cares, look it up. And then on July 18th,
Yes.
July 18th.
send us some money to save some animals.
What time? What time is it happening?
It's from 4 to 9 o'clock.
Hey, okay. So tell everybody how they can stay in touch with you. Let's shout out all your social media, website, anything you got.
Oh yeah, no, we have obviously Facebook. I say obviously, but yeah, we have a Facebook page. That's probably the one we're the most active on.
Okay.
And then we also have Instagram, and then our website is wombatjunction.weebly. That's the people that do the website or whatever. .weebly.com. There we've got some like a press kit and some songs and some links to some stuff. And eventually, once we get our stuff ordered again, merchandise, and then we also have a Twitter account, but I won't lie to you. I usually use it to troll politicians I don't like.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, what else is Twitter used for these? things?
right, yeah. So like not super active on the Twitter, but but Instagram, Facebook, and the website, and then we have an email address. If you're out there and would like to book Wombat Junction,
Hey.
you could go to wombatjunction@gmail.com, and I will get back to you as soon as possible.
Well, hell yeah, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks again for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much
This
for
was
having
really
us.
awesome.
Yeah, we've been doing this with a lot of different acts and trying to shed light on local, all original acts, and so glad to have you here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us here for Off the Reel Sessions, a live interview with Wombat Junction. Make sure you check them out on July 18th, 4 to 9 p.m. here at the Warehouse. Make sure you go like them on Facebook, Instagram, and go visit their website, buy some merch, and send them an email, tell them how much you love them. Once again, you can become a Patreon supporter for a little $5 a month. Go to patreon.com/onthemarkstudio, and please subscribe to our YouTube, On the Mark Studio. Go check it out. Check out all the incredible entertainers that we've had on this stage. Make sure to join us next Monday, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night.